it's time to get in our player spotlights, Nerdy, for our number 1 seed,
I'm
Lowkey.
excited. I'm realizing my lighting is off, but I guess now I'm not even on the screen. So I should talk about Lowkey. Lowkey is the number 1 seed of the tournament, which obviously holds a lot of weight. You know, people tend to enjoy watching the number 1 seed in tournaments in general. And so I think that match, he's definitely someone to pay attention to. You can see statistically, just played a lot of games. 400 games, not the most we've seen, but not still, that's a lot. And that 63 win rate is very, very good. Alongside that, uh, he's also got 1258. To be honest, I'm a little surprised. I would expect, considering he's the number 1 seed, I would expect one of these numbers to be like one of the highest we've seen, and none or like one of the best we've seen, and none of these are. They're all good, but it's not like number 1 seed good. Even like the amount of games played. So I'm a little surprised to see that. What I guess that implies to me is that maybe the wins that he got were just more substantive wins. That maybe the wins that he was getting, he was consistently doing well against good opponents. I think that's what that could mean. Uh, and so I think that's definitely something to keep in mind, is that's just very hard to do, to not only win, but win at the highest level.
Yeah.
And yeah.
But he ended at rank 1 for a reason, right? Maybe the wins are just against better players or something, or when they count, right?
Yeah,
And
exactly.
it's a very impressive card, even though it's not the most impressive one we've seen today. There is a reason why he is our
There's a
number
reason
1
why he's
seed.
number 1. Yep.
Exactly. Let's look at Crow's player spotlight here. Another low match count, but we saw Automat crush it. But this definitely, I would say, doesn't hold up with the same standards as Automat. I think the best rank time is 2 minutes slower. The average time is 2 minutes slower. And there are losses. It is not a 100% win rate. So
Unfortunately. But
we,
that's still, yeah, that's still impressive to have gotten in with just 17 games.
oh, 100%. Yeah. I mean, you do have to go through the qualifiers, and only 8 people make it up from the qualifiers out of the 70 people that played. So there's something there. You're in the top 10% of the qualifiers. But I mean, I said I thought Oxy was going to 2-0 against Automat, and she got 0-2'd. So we'll see. I think this is going to be a 2-0 low key, but it could be a low key 0-2. And it's weird because that's like a word, but it's his username. We'll get used
Lowkey,
to it.
I think Lowkey might win.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Let's shoot it over to the seed selection. Oh my God. Nerdy. No shipwreck ban. Holy shit.
Wow. You love seeing change, This is like evolution. This is progress in the world. We are evolving past the shipwreck bans. So we had a buried treasure up first. I think that makes sense coming from Lowkey. It's kind of the speedrunner's favorite, and I feel like if you pick it, it's kind of like, it's kind of like I'm ready to, let's just do a normal speedrun. That's what you're telling your opponent. You're saying like, let's just speedrun Minecraft. You don't want any funny business. And then BT is definitely the most representative of speedrunning today.
Yeah, I'm surprised about the village ban from Crow, honestly. Um I just feel like it's a very comfortable seed. I don't know. I never have issues super with village. I guess like there's sometimes randomness in like finding the enter. Sometimes it's hard to see the lava pool, but I don't know. I would keep the village, and I'm surprised that he doesn't ban BT. I feel like Loki would have a lot more experience with ranked seeds in that regard. I mean, 17 matches played versus over like 300.
Right.
So I don't know. We'll see.
We will see indeed. I'm excited for this match. Like I said, again, the 1 seed going against the 16. It's the ultimate underdog story, right?
Mhm.
Versus the tournament favorite in some ways. Um, at least statistically speaking, the tournament favorite.
Yeah. But we will see how the seed goes. BT gets a spike. Looks like Lowkey is on this. Is he though? Yeah, there it is. Crow first to the BT though. Oh, and it's first try Flint. That's always nice. Diamond pickaxe as well. Only 4 salmon, so we'll see. Kind of a low food situation off the BT. Not the worst that it could possibly be, but not amazing either. So we'll see how that goes. But should be, again, a very linear overworld. Should enter within 10 seconds of each other, but look at Lowkey, like, he got the BT second and he made up all the time on the crafting. Like he's just out first. Because of the tab space and just the speed. Both combined. He is just getting to this ravine.
Yeah, just a little bit
Second
earlier.
now, but he was off the island first. Again, like, gonna be within a few seconds for everybody here. And he's gonna do a 2x1, so might save more time. Kind of looks scuffed though. Lost a door. That's unlucky. L portal supremacy. Oh my god, I mean,
no. Minus
Ghost
10
bucketed.
seconds.
Actually,
I
it's
mean, again,
minus 9.4. Actually,
okay.
it was
Well,
minus 8.35.
can we get a nerd in chat for Feinberg? Can we get a nerd?
I
in chat for
looked
Feinberg?
it
I would
up.
appreciate that.
It's still
I would appreciate
open
that.
at the tab.
Thank you guys.
It's still open.
Anyways, what I was trying to say before getting really interrupted, I feel like that is just very, it's very, like I've said this many times, that's like the 4th misplaced obsidian or something today. It's just very tangible having to mine an obsidian. Now, you do have a diamond pickaxe, which is good, but it feels like worse than losing 10 seconds to, like, just having slightly worse terrain nav, you know?
Yeah, it feels so bad.
Yeah. And so I think that the reason why I mentioned that is that getting that early in this game, taking some damage to that piglin right now, I'm a little worried. Early looking at this gameplay from Lowkey, I don't know if he's looking his sharpest, and I don't know if he's feeling his sharpest, more importantly.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter if you're the faster player if you are just making mistakes, if you're not playing on your game, you know? Everyone here can play very fast and very accurate when they're playing on their game. So if you're not playing well, you can't affect your opponent's play. You can only control your gameplay, your speed. There's no player interaction in ranked, right? As opposed to other sort of 1v1 esports or stuff like that. So it's just all on you to play your best. And Lowkey's got to iron out these small mistakes. Otherwise, he's just going to lose. And we're going to see a bigger upset than our Oxy Automat game, which is crazy.
Yeah, hopefully we don't need... sorry, hopefully he does fix those mistakes and he does not have some kind of, I don't know, snowballing effect that we've seen with these past runners. But yeah, it's a little concerning early on. The #1 seed, you know, maybe some pressure there, maybe some nerves from the tournament. I don't exactly know, but I would expect to see maybe slightly more clean, composed gameplay than what we've seen so far. But at the same time, nothing disastrous, nothing horrible, nothing, you know, too bad, but just maybe a slightly, you know, just not quite composed is, I think, a good way to phrase it.
Yeah, I don't know. Could be nerves too. Could be tournament nerves. A lot of pressure being the 1 seed, for sure.
Yeah.
So
Just a little bit behind here, Crow.
Be that.
A little bit behind Crow. But at the same time, it's like so early in the seed. It's the 1st seed as well, so there's a lot of time. So if you're a Lowkey supporter, no need to panic yet. It's nothing too bad. Just a little bit behind here, by a few seconds, and hopefully these mistakes will fix themselves out. Will sort themselves out.
Yep, and it looks like they both managed to check the same chest for 20 obby. Lowkey sees the fort as well, and we'll see exactly how far behind he is.
Yep.
I mean, really only looking like 10, 12 seconds, right? Like,
yeah,
it could
like
be
I said,
a lot.
Yeah, it's something big. Could be a lot worse.
Nerdy, are you low-key a Crow supporter? or no?
Maybe maybe I am low-key a Crow supporter. I don't know. Maybe I'm a low-key Crow supporter. I don't know. It's hard to say.
I stole that from chat. I can't take credit,
It's okay.
but that was good.
That's good. I was trying to think of a way to incorporate the word crow in chat. Maybe you guys can come up with something good. I couldn't figure out the way to include the word crow into another sentence that had to do with Loki. But
It's
I tried
definitely
to
not
reciprocate it. It just did not work.
okay. And he said, and
Oh, I need to pay more attention. I need to pay more attention. Okay, I'm sorry.
I mean, it's just like,
it's my formal
it's
apology.
is it kind of our fault? Like, probably. Should they be dying in the fort with full health? Probably not. Like, I feel like we can't take 100% of the blame there. We're not the ones dying, right? Like, I don't know what happened. It said he was shot by a skeleton, but it just like he wasn't out of food yet. It's just, I mean, Lowkey was making the small mistakes, but Crow made the big mistake.
At the end of the day,
and it's a full seed reset as well. He's not even going back to his stuff, so it's just legitimately a raw 5-minute time loss. So it's Lowkey's seed to lose. And it is unfortunate that death happens, and you have to be able to mentally rebound. And it sucks too, because it could arguably be worse on the mental to like play it out, as opposed to if this was like a regular ranked game, like you're at rank 20 or whatever, you just forfeit. Then you're like rank 21 or 22 and you just try to run back the next one. But in the tourney, you can't. If you lose 2 seeds, you're out. And that's it. Like there's not going to be another tourney for months. So like these are arguably the most important ranked seeds that these players might ever play. And you have to be 100% on your game.
It's very punishing like that. We do see, yeah, at this point we've basically gotten to the point where it once again requires a pretty significant misplay from Lowkey. We need some kind of throw, some kind of thing like this. As long as he plays this seed safely and decently paced, this should be his game. Or his seed at least.
Bro might just die again in this bastion here. He's boxing against a lantern. But ran into the gap and wasn't able to get the pigs fully trading, and he's gonna kill the pigs in his gap. That is not ideal. You kind of needed those for trading. I don't know. I mean, it's already over, but making more mistakes like that just can't help. And again, it might be worse for the mental that you like have to kind of play these out as opposed to just forfeiting and going next, right? Like you want to have to play for like that 1% that your opponent somehow dies in a worst possible way, right? So
yeah,
I don't know.
Consistency is key. It's a very interesting balance, trying to balance going quickly with being consistent. I think it's a skill that is very hard, and it is importantly and distinctly different from RSG, of course, where you do want to play riskier. Finding that balance.
I mean, there's no one perfect at it. But you'd be the best player in the world if you could play at your top speed completely consistently. It's just not possible. And it's finding that balance of how fast do I go to keep as consistent as possible. Because if you go faster, you'll win the seed. But if you go too fast and you die, it's over. And that's what happened to Crow. He was going too fast, and he died, and it's over.
Oh, and
Lowkey would have to choke the preemptive like an incredible amount. Creeper stronghold potentially. There'd have to be a monumental throw. We'll see.
Yeah, and it looks like
Surely he didn't miss the stronghold, right? Okay, didn't. Just weird portal snapping.
Basically all eyes on Lowkey here as we see if he can find the portal room
Doesn't look like he got a good spike at all. I was not.
Yeah, it didn't look super confident, and the percentages did look a little bit weird or inconsistent. But I do think that I don't know. Like, is it possible for Crow to come back here? I'm trying to think of ways. I really don't think so. I
If
think he's
Lowkey
just too far
gets
behind.
creeper here,
Oh, okay. Man, commentator's curse for real.
it's
That
like
could
it
have been
just
bad.
shouldn't be a mistake, and like he definitely shouldn't have died, especially with the blocks. But there's just that small like 1%. Like, what if he like slipped, or just the gravel was weird, or whatever. Like, it's not 100% a lock, right? 5 hearts,
Here
4
we go.
hearts.
Wow.
Oh,
Jeez.
1.5. I think he did that on
Okay.
purpose for the hunger reset, but like it's just it opens the door to risky play.
Yeah, I mean, you're so far ahead. But I guess you technically don't know that CroPro died, but you kind of imply it by how long Crow's been in the fort.
Not going for 0. Had the
I think
idea.
that's correct, right?
Oh, it's
I mean,
100% correct. Your
yeah.
opponent hasn't even blinded. There's no reason to throw that 0.1% mistake chance. Just, I wouldn't even build up to half boat here for like the 1% that the dragon just like bots out and runs into you and you're dead. Like, I just would. I mean, you don't even need to shoot crystals technically. Like,
Right.
I guess Crow could blind through a 1 eye, insta nab, insta 0, and it's like a 2-minute end game, but it's just there's just no way. So he successfully dodged all of the death chances, and there's a very quick
And there's the
perch,
perch.
and it definitely gets there in time, and that's going to be a quick 1-0 for Lowkey. I mean, just no big major mistakes. A couple small things like that added up to being slower into the bastion and into the fort, but Crow just took that big mistake just to death, like, and it was over. Didn't matter. Low-key small mistakes ended up not mattering, and we'll see that in the splits for sure. That Crow was ahead, and then just the splits are just going to fall off a cliff. There's literally no. Yeah.
There's a clear story to tell here. What happened?
Yeah.
You know, Crow is ahead. Yeah, look at that. Almost 30 seconds ahead into the bastion. That's what we were talking about at the beginning of
Yeah, and he kept that
good.
time save into the fort.
Mm-hmm.
Like he did not lose that much time getting in there. I guess most of this early game time save is from Lowkey messing up his overworld 2x1. And
2x1, and then there was a piglin incident. His train nab wasn't perfect. It was not perfect gameplay from Lowkey. That's what I was trying to say at the beginning. It wasn't perfectly composed, but it seemed like he was starting to slowly build composure over the course of the seed. Maybe at the end, I'm not sure if getting low was on purpose. I think it was. Presuming it was getting low on purpose, then you could say that he was playing very cleanly. Though I would argue that that was a little maybe too risky, unnecessarily so. In his position. But overall, I think really good play from Lowkey. Not perfect. Definitely could be improved, but hopefully this is a warm-up going into the next seed, and he'll be on point for that.
100%. Guess we can throw it over to our seed pick band to see what Crow wants to play for seed 2. Are we going to see our first shipwreck seed? No. Oh my god. I wanted to go to a game 3 almost more so to see the shipwreck seed.
Really?
As
You want to see the
opposed
shipwreck seed that
to,
bad?
well, I obviously know what is going to happen. Like I know what a shipwreck is, right? Like that it's
Right.
not surprising, but I just want to see one today.
Yeah.
I want
No,
to
I
see
mean,
a
that's
shipwreck
fair.
seed. Like it's just so different to season 1. I feel like shipwreck seeds were in almost every match
Yeah.
that was
No,
played in
that's what I'm
season
saying.
1.
It was Desert Temples that were the one that was always banned in season 1. Desert
Yeah.
Temples were consistently banned because,
I think we've
I mean, it
seen
makes
2
sense.
temples played already, and we've seen a
Yeah.
couple potentially played in seed 3s that didn't happen. So it's just very shocking that there is no shipwrecks up until this seed. This is the first match that it hasn't been banned, but looks like we're ready to go into the match. Nerdy. I think we can get a seed 3. I mean, it'd be exciting for.
I believe as well.
Yeah. Very pumped.
I mean, it's probably more or less I mean, I don't know. What are the odds? Whatever you put the odds are at Crow beating Lowkey, he needs to win one right now. He needs to do it right now.
Yeah.
So that's the odds of us going into a game 3. Very insightful commentary here. But you can see we get a gold axe, so just immediately going for the trees. It's so satisfying. It's such a satisfying feeling to just
Yeah.
get your wood with a gold axe right from the rune portal. And we're gonna go. We got a helmet coming from Crow, and any shovel. Okay. Anything else?
Helmet is good here, I think, when you have the extra gold block. Looking for food, both runners, I'd imagine. Because you are obby completing this. No lava bucket, but obviously the FNS. Maybe just a couple pigs from each player. Looks like Lowkey's maybe getting more food. Crow killing the chicken, I don't love. But maybe his pigs just ran away. Like, obviously, it's kind of just random. But Lowkey's having a much better. I mean, Crow's gonna have 3. He's got 3 food stacks. He's got a feather. He's gonna have wool in his inventory. Like, we
It's
are
definitely harder to manage.
managing a farm out here. And Lowkey is hopping in the nether. It doesn't grab that extra gold block, but I really don't think it's gonna be that big of a deal. And you are on the housing bastion. You just punch a pig. I mean, it's even a gold axe. It's FSG. You can just fucking grind all 3 chests. Bam, bam, bam. Beautiful. And you're down.
Great stuff.
He maybe didn't pick up everything up there, but I'm not sure. 3.5. Zombie pig. Chugging that is smart. Oh, 2 zombie pigs. Oh no. That's not good for his pig count at all. And it looks like Crow didn't mind the chests. I didn't see if he punched a pig. I'd imagine he had to punch a pig. And he's getting these mid-down blocks anyway, so it'll aggro a lot of pigs. Oh!
Somehow he didn't break the bottom block.
Yeah, he did the blocks wrong. I was gonna say I've never seen a pig get shoved over there, but he just messed up the block breaks. So it's gonna be. I just feel like Lowkey has no pigs, but oh, it looks like there's a lot there. So maybe the zombie pigs scared them in the right direction. You know, I'm not sure. We will see who leaves the bastion first, because Lowkey is ahead by maybe 10 seconds entering the nether, entering this bastion, and he has also checked the top chests. So it's going to make this inventory management segment here and like leaving the bastion just a little bit faster than Crow will be. So it's just some extended time save. You also get a better picture of the obsidian count, so you can sort of base your decisions a little better, knowing that you have what you have from the top. 17 obviously, but home portal I think on this seed is super linear. I mean, you always spawn right next to the bastion, but 20 is almost always better for overlaps and everything. He's got 18, and I think he's just gonna leave. I think he's got 2.5 stacks of string and 2 stacks of pearls. So we are very chill on the 0 potential, but it looks like they're both leaving at about the same time. Crow's going to check these top chests here. 16 obby. I wonder if it's in the single.
Yeah.
He is going to check the single. There is obby in the single. He gets 20. Loki's going to also get 20 from that single. Wow. So it's, I mean, they're on the exact same pace.
For some reason, Loki's pearl scared me. Sorry.
It's all good. Crow is pearling. He's like looking around more and maybe pearled the wrong direction. I don't know if he didn't pyrite. Okay, he just sees a different part of the fort here. So they're entering at different parts of the fortress, but pace within 10-15 seconds of each other. So
this could be interesting. I mean, in theory, we could see 2 different strongholds. That is a possibility. If they go to 2 different spawners, it's always something that I think is interesting, because it can completely change the, you know, effect of the game.
Yeah.
Or the shift, you know,
looks like Lowkey found the spawner first, and it looks like it's just the visible spawner. So I think Crow's gonna head to the spawner also, and it's gonna come down to who plays beds more effectively. But if they both do it perfectly, then it should just be the same spawner speed for both players. But I think Crow got a little better strays, so did enter the fort slower. It's just gonna be really close. I think it's going to be like within 5 to 10 seconds of them blinding. Obviously, there are some variants if one of them leaves with less rods than the other player, but this just looks like a textbook blaze bed play. That spawn cycle is very slow, so they should just be both getting the same amount of blazes. It's going to come down to the eye measuring split, the terrain nav, the end game. How practiced your end games are, which is, I mean, it's the hardest, most inconsistent split for a lot of runners. Just doing everything ASAP, no hesitation on the terrain nav, on the eye measurements, on the preemptive, stringing it all together. Especially less so nerves in ranked, more so nerves in like runs, you know? Like if you get a sub 5 blind in like runs, it's like holy shit, this could like maybe world record. But if you get a sub 5 blind in ranked, it like doesn't really matter because it's like a filtered seed. Like no one really cares about like the fastest rank times. Like it's very cool, right? And like if you're on like sub 7 pace in ranked, like that gets you nervous and stuff, but it's more just about how you're doing against the opponent, you know? And yeah, I mean, it looks like Lowkey's a little ahead, but I'm looking at the, Lowkey's just out. They both blinded on 3 rods and the rates are good. So Crow will be out soon also, but Lowkey's ahead by maybe 15 seconds. And I mean, if you're ahead by 1 second, you win. So even though it's not like a commanding lead like we've seen on a lot of these other seeds, especially with deaths and stuff like that, if you're just ahead, it doesn't matter how much ahead you are. It's just you win the seed if you win. It sounds 5-head, but like, you know what I mean? Like in seeds like this, it comes down to the small mechanical things. Like, are you extremely good at your preemptive? Are you going to nail this?
We'll have to see the answer.
How's your 0 prep? How's your 0? Like, I've had season ranked come down to how many beds you use for your 0, or like how high you build up for the 0. I think this is a one-way stronghold though, so no time save available for Crow, but probably won't matter either way. 053, don't even need a pearl clip. Is it 0-able? Yes. This is a Feinberg 0-able, and that wasn't a great pearl, so maybe I think he could still push to 95. He is going to. Might be a little tight though. Nah, he's got a lot of time.
They're great. Just textbook gameplay, I feel like, from Lowkey this seed. Oh, this is sketchy. Oh no.
Okay.
Oh, he's dead.
That was
I cursed him again.
Good commentary thing, Nerdy.
My bad.
I think he
was doing good.
It looked fine to me. Now, granted, I do my 0 setup differently, so I visualize the dragon from a different angle. It
didn't look like bad height to me. I don't know.
Yeah, it didn't look like the timing was that bad, and then it was just terrible. But did Crow mismeasured, but Lowkey like fully reset?
Well,
yeah, I don't know. You'd have to look. I feel like he didn't need to do the low bed. I have no idea. Maybe he panicked. Maybe he actually did mistime it. Like I said, I do my setups like 90 degrees the other way. What is happening? Don't forfeit! He also died! Oh my god! Oh my god!
What just happened? What did I just watch? What did I just watch? Dude, I can't. That hurt. I hit
Classic Seed 1 versus Seed 16 gameplay. That's actually what we expected, Nerdy, from our highest seeded competitor. This is the dude. What do the splits even tell us? Like it doesn't even begin. We're bringing Fulham in here for the 2-0, man. We gotta get a run back on all that shit. Like,
dude, I am actually speechless. I'm speechless. The 0 throw.
I cannot believe that he forfeited. I mean, it's just. I don't know. I don't know what to say. It's like,
I can understand logically where the forfeit came from. It's like, I just died, and you're in the end. GG. But then the fact that the only forfeit we've seen is in that situation is crazy.
Yeah, it's like the one time that anyone has ever hovered the forfeit button and it like wasn't actually over.
Yes.
But we're gonna let Fulham take over the rest of this. See what he has to say, see what he has to cover. And it might take a minute for Fulham to get everything ready, but we don't want to steal spotlight. Dude, that is just crazy. Like, oh my god, I just want to watch it back. I didn't even
Back.
fully see what was happening. Like I was watching Lowkey and I realized that is crazy.
I
don't know.
The funny thing is I was about to say, and now it's CroPro's game to lose. And
And
then
then he
I guess
lost
he
it,
lost.
man. Oh my god, man. Well, we'll see a recap soon.
Dude, I jinxed
Man.
I jinxed the match. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. This is my formal apology
It's okay, nerdy.
for the second
But
time during this match.
Fulham's analysis segment is ready, so we're gonna throw it over to him. Not a 2-1 situation, not a game 3 situation, but definitely a match worth analyzing.
Okay. Well, what a match that was. What a crazy match that actually was. A super interesting one and arguably quite a disappointing end to what was a super interesting match. Obviously, usually these would come when the games go to 2-1. However, this one was a match that needed to be analyzed due to the fact that there was a forfeit. The first forfeit we've seen in season 2, and we're just gonna go through. Let me drag your mind back to seed 1 first and foremost. So, for some reason we started in the middle of the.
Literally no.
Why is everything in an interesting order? Okay,
Now,
thanks very much.
off.
Lowkey was the person that started the seed. Sorry, this last seed absolutely rattled me, and my playlist is not in the correct positions. Anyway, Lowkey started the seed in a slightly slower fashion than CroPro. I think it was quite obvious to see as of exactly why that was. Crow was able to find an L shape, and it looked like Lowkey went for the 2x1. Had a small mistake there, had to go and swim and grab the door, and then went for the placement on the dirt. Grabbed this lava fine, grabbed this lava fine, but we can actually see on this mine right here that this bucket is not a ghost bucket, even though it seems like it might be. It somehow, in all of this bitrate mess, placed in the one place you don't want it to place. Now, if we slow this down really carefully, this is one of those moments where the right click actually does show that the lava is placed in the correct place. So even though, sadly, Lowkey fell victim to one of the classic fluid mechanic Minecraft bugs, he did have a diamond pickaxe and was able to clutch it back out for, a 10-second time loss, meaning that CroPro was able to make a start of a good lead on this seed until we get to Crow's mistakes in seed 1. Crow was in the fortress first around about 20 seconds earlier. We can actually see that in the splits, which I believe are here. They're in a weird order now. If I go to splits, there we go. Thank you. We can see that the split started in very, very favorably for CroPro. Around 30 seconds ahead, heading into this bastion and fortress. Kept a very good gap here. However, obviously, a death was taken, and we're going to go and watch that right now. This was a bit of a disappointing death, but some more mistakes were made prior to this. So, we can see initially, CroPro has some strays on the screen. This is because of the lower render distance. This is because he was able to spawn them in. Picks up his first rod, and as you can notice here in the middle of our screen, we have one blaze rod dropped here. Now notice he doesn't go and pick this up straight away. He actually takes a step back to deal with the oncoming wither skeletons. gets them onto the side, uses the flint and steel, and punches them off really effectively. But he does actually get stabbed in the back by the final Wither Skeleton, as I don't actually believe it was knocked off. He doesn't have the knockback capacity because it actually gets knocked into the already falling Wither Skeleton. If we take this very slowly here, you actually see that the front Wither Skeleton gets pushed towards CroPro and stays on the side of the fortress and then deals damage. This is step 1 that is bad already. He goes for this blaze and then spots the 2 skeletons shooting at him in this corner. He's at 4.5 hearts at this point. This is not ideal already. So, CroPro runs in here, decides to say, okay, I'm going to eat, and uses this the zombie piglin very intelligently to block the arrow so that the zombie piglin will go and kill the skeleton. However, the zombie piglin has a little bit of struggles as the wither skeleton actually blocks the zombie piglin from going to the skeletons. This is where he wants it to go, and instead he gets blocked and gets pushed back this way. This is, again, a very, very unlucky situation for CroPro. Deals with the wither skeleton, but gets shot again by one of these skeletons. Tries to eat, but both skeletons come around the corner, and the double team around the corner with one skeleton pre-firing, the second already reloaded, ready to shoot as soon as the eyesight is seen, and a really, really unfortunate event for CroPro. And the forfeit hover was there, but the reset was chosen. And if only CroPro did that for Seed 2, which is now what we're going to analyze. After seeing the splits of Seed 1, I did think that this game would be a lot closer. And we can start with something quite innocent. As Lowkey starts to root this bastion, has a zombie piglin here in the middle of the bastion on the route downwards. Not only that, but as we get to mid-down location, there's a second zombie piglin. And now, let me divert your attention to CroPro's screen. He's also doing the same route at the same time. And notice that there is no zombie pigman here, which is where Lowkey's first zombie pigman was. And if we continue down, there's no zombie piglin here either. He's able to get more pigs in his hole and mount what seems to be the start of a comeback from the fact that there was no differences in pig numbers after some lucky the lack of zombie piglins. And then the end of the seed happened. From Lowkey potentially getting an 830 roughly on this end enter, a very doable 0 cycle. Cage front dragon was able to build up to 95, slightly suboptimal Pearl, and gets to 95. Little slip off there, but clutches it out very nicely. Has enough for 1 extra rotation. Blows up the bed maybe a tiny bit early. This bed is the one that I think caused the subsequent problems, as this bed was detonated a fraction of a second too early, as it doesn't give the enough knockback for the dragon. And if we see the dragon's hitbox here, if we take this very slowly, it is already intersecting with the bed, and I believe that Lowkey could have, in fact, just blown up the bed that was already placed and not required to place this one. Instead, he went for what he thought would be a save, and it turned out to actually cause a hell of a lot of problems. After that explosion, gets dealt knockback, doesn't have enough height on the dragon, goes for an audacious final bed, and gets sent to the floor and does Pearl to his death. At this point, Lowkey reset the seed, and let's go and watch CroPro's point of view. So, CroPro spawns in and digs down, notice, at 5-6 in the chunk, which is a valid location for the stronghold to spawn. He believes that the stronghold isn't in this chunk by the time he gets to Y20, which is a very valid estimation. Sends a Pearl up, lands at Y60, which is fantastic. It's a really good way of time saving, and clutches with the soul sand very well. Kind of glitches into the top soul sand and digs down a little bit further, and then pillars up to the surface to try and throw one more Pearl to say, right, okay, I missed the stronghold, let's find out where it is. The issue comes when he throws this eye, because it goes straight back down. And that is something that I don't think I was expecting, nor he was expecting. We can see that it goes straight back down, and sadly, CroPro starts digging straight back down, and as soon as he gets to the soul sand, digs straight through and falls to his death. It's a crazy, unfortunate set of circumstances, equally because he does throw a pearl on his way down and does hit the side, but doesn't clutch in time because he hotkeyed to his gravel first. You can see that just here. After the pearl lands, hotkeys over to his gravel, which if he places, won't do anything to save him. Has to then move to the soul sand and places it too late. And goes for the instant forfeit, which was a huge mistake, as he didn't know that Lowkey had died. But had he have maybe continued and ran back to the location that he knew that the stronghold was at, this could have gone to a seed number 3. Anyway, arguably one of the more scuffed analysis. I can only apologize. I had to throw everything together rather quickly due to the amount of clips that were that close to the end of the seed. We are going to send this back to our main commentators, Nerdy and Feinberg, while they take you to the penultimate match. So that analysis was a little bit interesting, but fingers crossed we can actually get a match 3 so I can provide you with something insightful for the next one. Right. Thank you very much.
Huge W, Fulham. Thank you for the insight. And that was actually really cool to see both that Lowkey could have gotten that bed off at the end. Like the dragon didn't break the top bed, which is what some of us maybe figured. And also just because like I was watching Lowkey and then I didn't even see that like I didn't see what happened to Crow. So seeing that like the Y20 was the stronghold and then went up, was low because he pearled up. And then through the eye went down and then went back down. And I guess like I wonder if he knew that like breaking the soul sand was gonna fully spleef him. Like if it was in the front of his mind or if he just broke it and then panicked. I don't know. But maybe he was just trying to play fast because Lowkey was in the end already. I wouldn't know.
I mean, it's crazy. I mean, I think like the takeaway is that was just a classic example of why it's not good to forfeit. And
Yes.
I think it's funny because, you know, it was sort of like the two players both had a catastrophic mistake. The 0 cycle from Lowkey and the, I guess, series of events that led to CroPro dying.
Mhm.
The difference between the players at the end of the day, Lowkey reset the seed, or I don't remember if he reset
Yeah,
or
reset the seed and
respawn, but either way, he didn't forfeit and CroPro did. And that was the difference. That was the difference between the two players. It was purely mental. It wasn't anything else.
yeah.
And I
And I
can't blame
also
CroPro entirely, but yeah.
yeah. I think Crow would have like won the seed too, maybe. I think because like Lowkey would have had to enter the end again and get more explosive somehow, which is I think why he reset. But Crow's stuff was still there over the
True.
stronghold. He could have went to his second portal and gotten his stuff much quicker. So I think Crow could have won if he didn't forfeit, and we'd be watching a seed 3 right now. But unfortunately, that's the way it is. It's as much of a mental game as it is a physical and a mechanical game.
Yep.
And Lowkey had the stronger mental, so we will see him next week.